Welcome back, you filthy exiles. As I guess I put in one of my earlier videos, or the last video that I put up, I would have a look at the Chaos Spell Slinger. Now, in playing with this, obviously I'm running this on my standard account, and by no means is my gearing even close to being on point. But so far, as for bossing, this current iteration that I'm playing isn't gonna get you there. So I've actually got a better tree that I've ripped everything out of, which I guess I'll run through soon, and that's due to a player by the name of Jan Ritual, and I'll put the link to their profile for the current league as well. But I've basically torn their tree apart even further and ripped out all the highly expensive gear, less a few things, to get it up to a reasonable amount of DPS, which you could play through the end game quite easily. But as it stands, I decided to do a bit of a test on my standard account with just trash gear, like we're using Malachi's Mark as one example, just complete absolute shit gear. Now in the final tree, which I've got here, what you'll see is it'll be a standard Chevron's wrapping, bated breath, only 2 uniques. Now you will be able to use a Prism Guardian, but it's actually not the best shield for this low life iteration. The best shield is going to be a mana reservation reduction shield, which is normally, I think it's an Elder Shield or a Shaped Shield. One of the two. We'll just find it here. There it is. Harmonic Shield, Shaped Shield. So mana reservation reduction to your gems. But basically, like the Vortex video that I put up, this is going to abuse the Spell Slinger mechanic. And how the Spell Slinger mechanic works is you put Spell Slinger in, you put the spell that you want to cast into that socketed area with any other associated supports, and then basically you run a single unlinked skill. In this case, I'm running Power Siphon. I just find Power Siphon to be a really, really good skill to proc this with. And then basically every time you cast Power Siphon, you're going to cast all of your Chaos skills. As you can see, I've got Soul Ren, Essence Drain, and Contagion all running off of Spell Slinger. Now the only 3 auras that I'm running in this currently are Vitality, Malevolence, and Discipline. You don't need Vitality. What you would actually be running, and I just couldn't be bothered doing it because it just takes too many chromes, or too many chromes than what my standard account can handle, because I always build test in here and I never have any chromes. I would be running Zealotry in there as well, so a 3 blue socketed shield. The wand that you'll be running will mainly just be a trigger a socketed spell when you use a skill wand, and you'll see the right wand in particular in here, which in fact is a plus level to spell skill gems, plus level to chaos spell skill gems, and trigger socketed spell with dot. Now this is a perfect wand in the POB. You're probably not going to get a league starting wand like this anytime early in the league, but you can get to end game pretty amicably without this. Now the other alternative that you could go for would be to run a 6-link thicket bow setup, and then a soul strike, and that's going to help you with chaos damage and energy shield. And then on top of that, you would just run frenzy as your skill that you're going to proc with, and I believe you can still run spell slinger potentially. But for the purpose of this build, we're just going to be running this setup here.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Now, bloody hell, I'm clicking every button. Now, by no means is this perfect, and you'll see the gearing in the POB. Just anything similar to that's going to get you started. Now, if you run pure bow, you could just go Soul Rend, you could just go ED and then have Contagion as a secondary, and then you just shoot your ED out and then proc Contagion on the enemies as they die. It then takes everything out. It's entirely up to you how you want to play it. Go crazy. This is how it's sort of similar to how I'm going to play it in my end game. Now this isn't even a 6-link on the Spell Slinger ED skill, but you know that's going to take more mana reservation. We're going to need a Malevolence reservation reduction amulet, and +1 to all Chaos Skill Gem amulet, which I've got right here, and you'll see that in the POB. Anyway, what does the tree look like, you might be asking. Now, The tree's pretty straightforward. This one takes a bit of a shoot in a different direction because it's a spell slinger build. Now we are going to focus on getting cluster jewels here, but we'll talk about that shortly. Mainly though, you're going to be starting at the blah, 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 Trickster area or Assassin area. Bloody keep naming ascendancies. You're going to be starting at this part of the tree, and then you're going to come down. You're going to pick up these nodes here first, is what I would suggest. Then you'll come across to the right. You'll pick up entropy. You'll come up, pick resourcefulness, up to cold-hearted calculation, growth and decay. Then you'll come up here. You'll pick up this area, this little cluster jewel here, and get ready to cluster up. And then you'll go to the right, you'll pick up influence, you're going to want atrophy, you're going to want arcane swiftness, and you'll want written in blood to get that ES pool up. Then you'll come down, pick up pain attunement, and this socket up here, and this is where you get, now you could go energy from within as one example, or you could do what this tree's got here and use a dot jewel, which is going to give you extra energy shield, so it's a pretty good pickup. Then you'll come down and you'll pick up these mana reduction nodes. Now the reason why you don't go to leadership is the leadership is a pointless node because it doesn't give you any reduction. Reduction is what we want in our mana reservation. Then you'll come to the left, you'll pick up this node up here just to get more jewel sockets. You'll come up, you'll pick up arcane guarding. You'll come to the left, get Zealot's Oath, Sovereignty, then you'll come down here, you'll pick up Faith and Steel, and then come down and get Glancing Blows and Sanctuary. That's pretty much a straightforward tree. Now, there's a fair different ways that you could offshoot this. You could not build down this route, not pick up this, and only get Foresight, and this means you'll need to travel through here, and if you travel through here, you'll be able to pick up Prodigal Perfection, or potentially Arcane Expanse, but it's really up to you how you want to go about building this. There's a few different iterations, and if you have a look at the heat mapping on the trees, this is relatively similar to what most ED Contagion trees end up, or Soul Rend trees end up like, but again, this is a little bit different. You're going to run Spell Slinger. It's not the same as running a straight up bow casting bloody Soul Rend character. It's a little bit different. Now the ES pool calculated on here, even with ripping out, and as you can see, I've ripped out, you know, the Dying Faiths, the Headhunters, and everything else. Just replaced it out with a Bated Breath. You know, everything else is relatively straightforward here. Now you're going to say, oh, some of these things are really expensive. Yes, it's going to be expensive by the time you get to this point, and then it'll get more expensive the more that you play it, but you'll see in a second why it's actually a really good build. Now for the Ascendancy itself, you're actually going to be playing Trickster, and the reason why is the hefty amounts of sustainability that you're going to get from playing Trickster. So, you know, Patient Reaper means you're essentially going to be leeching life like a madman, and then Prodigal Pain is just going to increase your dot and damage reduction. Ghost Dance is going to mean you get Ghost Shrouds, and that basically means that you'll recover energy shield and you'll get evasion rating from that, which gives you survivability. And then Swift Killer is just going to generate power and frenzy charges, so you're going to be fast as fuck 24/7. Now, with all that, you know, max cap reses, all that sort of shit, this build pretty much does everything. Now you could switch out what I'm running here. You could go Soul Rend with a similar tree and go Cane of the Unraveling, or Cane of Unraveling, and pretty much beast through the game in early days. There's 1,000 different ways to play ED Contagion builds. This is probably this is the iteration that I'm going to take in the game because I just find this fun and I find it really different and it's not so boring. Now, I'm not a big fan of ED Contagion builds, but I do like the automation that comes from this build. But anyway, so that tree will be in the description of this video. I'm going to run a T14 or T15 map with crap ass gear. Like, this is the absolute shittiest gear that I could put on this character. Nothing is leveled up properly. Everything is balls up. Like, I've got 21 gems from my Toxic Rain character, but you know, we're under leveled on Spell Slinger. Essence Drain's only leveled up because well, pardon me, I'm tired this weekend. I only just basically put these gems in. Discipline's like level 9, so we've got crap all going on there. I've got the wrong of everything. In fact, I might have a Witchfire Brew sitting in my flasks? Yes, I do. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of that, and we'll chuck a Witchfire Brew in there, and a Kadiros, Carolitos, I mean. No, we don't need that. Alright, so we'll build up this map, see how we go, and I'll show you what I mean by it's just a crazy fucking mapping character. Alright, so you're pretty much just going to start. You've got your 3 Spellslinger auras up. You've got Vitality, Malevolence, and Discipline. Vitality is a bit of a redundant aura, so that's not reserved properly. And as you can see straight away, it just completely rips apart T14, T15 maps with crap gems. Like, it's a room clearer. And this is the advantage of Dot. This is also why everyone plays this as a League Star character, because it's just overtly powerful. So you just run through, it'll eat away and kill everything. You don't have to do anything, you just walk out of the room, bam. He survives, dead. So it means to say, if you were just doing burial, T16 burial chamber runs, this character's already good enough to do T16 map runs. This is with almost no gearing, just no min-maxing whatsoever. So as you can see, it just destroys all rooms. Just absolutely effortless build. And because we've got so many so many frenzy charges, our dodge is high. And in this case, I have rigged up some wither totems on this too, just to make this a little more powerful. And as you'll see, I just automatically generate energy shield like a monster. It's just almost instant. Still leveling up gems. That's how much effort this build it actually is. Just sort of run into the enemies, give them a bit of chaos. So the boss is down the bottom there, but anyway, that's essentially a Chaos Slinger. Now this is level 82 zone, so it's a T15 map, T14, 15 map. This is doing this on a level 91 character with absolutely shit gear. None of this gear is good. It's not min-maxed. It's complete crap. But that's how powerful Chaos Slinger actually is. Now, if you were to min-max this, 2.9 million dot easily. And 2.9 million dot is a lot of fucking dot. You know, you're going to put down every boss in the game. You're going to do it effortlessly. Basically just breeze your way through the early game. Now, if you're even just playing like this in the first few weeks, you know, once you start min-maxing this a little bit, you'll get up to Cyrus 4. You know, if you get up to about 400-500k on your dot, you'll be able to do Cyrus 4 without any real issues. And then from there, you just continue to expand, and build up your gear as you go. And with the ability to map constantly, you could just farm Harbingers until your heart's content. But anyway, this is just a really, really top level guide, just to provide you a bit of an idea of what to play for next league. You can start planning. We're a few weeks out from the announcement. But yeah, I'll put the tree in the description. I'll put a link to the profile that I'm using for this. I won't give you this tree because this tree just is not good enough for anyone to use. It's not min-maxed. It's a bit different. Doesn't use cluster jewels, but the iteration of cluster jewels is going to be much better. But anyway, if this video gives you some ideas on the 3.14 League and a bit of a skeleton to the tree to use and how to play, in particular Chaos Slinger, then like and sub, and until next time, bye.